Ciao muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are currently in Italy, we are in Rome. This is probably my favorite city that I have ever been to. It is so beautiful and the Italian people are so sweet. My vlog will be coming later from my time here. I'm going to Florence tomorrow, and then I'm going to be going to Milan, and then we're doing Lisbon, and then our Dua Lipa endless summer vacation is over. But I've been having so much fun traveling around Europe, and I've been vlogging every single stop that I have been here. They're all on this channel. Thank you to everyone that has been watching them and supporting them. And if anyone has any recommendations before we get into this for Florence, Milan, Lisbon, and then Japan, Osaka, Kyoto, and Tokyo, please let me know down below, because literally people who watch my videos were the main people that were giving me suggestions for places to go when I've been in Europe. So if you have any for those other places, please let me know. Let's talk about this. So this has been very sent to me. I have seen it. Don't worry. People have been like, why hasn't Adam tweeted about this, responded to this, whatever. Trisha on the Just Trish podcast spoke about Colleen, and I see that everyone is talking about it right now. I just saw Peter uploaded. I saw Spill Sash is currently doing it. Again, the Spill Some Tea With Me page was on this really quickly. I saw the Reddit has been talking about this. And I'm going to be honest, I pulled back completely with kind of talking about Colleen. And the main reason for that is because, you know what, she has been blabbing her mouth, for 20k views. No shade, but like, she's not like, I don't allow her to bother me anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it just the way it did in the past, it doesn't anymore, because her career's really in the shitter, and it's all self done, and it's completely deserved. But anyway, she's been constantly making these little jabs in her vlogs that I have been seeing, where she's saying things like, these lies, ruined my life, or I was going to be cast in Broadway, and I lost the role because of a story that was completely made up, which, by the way, if anything was made up, Colleen Ballinger, I put my hands up and say, like, let's fight about it. You know what I mean? Like, come on, hit me with it. Let's debunk the lies then. Like, I'm so fucking over it. Like, if they're, come on then. You know what I mean? Stop keep saying, oh, the lies. Just fucking come forward with whatever proof you have then. I mean, Jesus Christ, if I was being called out for this stuff, I would have debunked it a long time ago, rather than just saying that, oh, it's a bunch of lies. Also, I saw another member of Weenies spoke out today. Someone who I didn't think was going to speak out. And they made a TikTok that was basically like, here's footage of me and Colleen on Skype when I was a minor and all my friends were minors. So other members of the Weenies are speaking out, and I've heard that a couple other ones are gathering some things to speak out. And the reason for that, which I have been told, is because they're really just frustrated at the fact that Colleen keeps playing this lie card. So I can tell you that there are a couple members of the Weenies who are currently organizing to speak forward about things. And the reason for that is, from what I've heard, is just the fact that Colleen keeps poking this bear of trying to act holier than holy. I'm better than everyone else. I never did anything wrong. They're all liars. The more she does that, apparently, the more, the people that were actually involved are getting pissed off and are going to come forward with stuff. So I guess we'll see that unfold in social media in the next couple weeks or maybe months. But just to let you know that I have heard that that's happening behind the scenes, and it's completely because Colleen keeps just lying. And I saw that Trisha talked about this, and even in this, Trisha said, I know that Adam isn't really talking about this that much, but, I know that Becky's been tweeting about it, Oliver's been tweeting about it, and yeah, that I completely will support Becky and Oliver moving forward. I will always. And I know that they have been tweeting updates about Colleen's videos. I know they've been tweeting things, and again, I fully respect it. I stand behind them completely. Me personally, I've just chosen to take a step back from it, because the huge role that Colleen, if I'm speaking completely honest with you, the huge role that she played in my life over the past few years, and then specifically this summer when everything went down, I mean, she's, tried to claw her way back into the internet, but I think enough people have, seen through her now, and she just comes across as very desperate and pathetic. I mean, her career is because she refused to acknowledge anything. And the only reason I feel confident saying this online is because she consistently is continuing to call me a liar online. So I hold no remorse for her. I do not like this woman at all. You know, her career is very pathetic right now. She, you know, is a laughing stock of YouTube. She's fucked it. And again, I have no problem saying that because she keeps making these little jabs of liars and stories that are fabricated and stuff. It's like, bitch, come forward and prove the opposite then. But anyway, I did see that Trisha talked about it, and we are going to get to it right now. So I appreciate you being here. And also, I appreciate Trisha continuing to talk about this. And I know in this, she says, you know, I'm going to continue talking about this because Colleen is relying on people not talking about this. You know what? I respect Trisha for that, because there was a time when I was being very unfair to Trisha on the internet, and I was saying things like, why aren't you speaking out? You were involved with her, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, Trisha continues to double down on her opinions about Colleen. And I appreciate it, because this is one of the few creators that was so directly intertwined with Colleen that has a big platform that is coming forward and continuing to not back down about it. And, you know, Trisha says in here about Rosanna Pansino, you know, having stuff with Colleen behind the scenes and not knowing what to do. Joy Graceffa, you know, Trisha's dropping these little hints of these creators who should be coming forward and speaking up, but they aren't. And it just goes to show that all of her friends are so different than Trisha, because Trisha is not scared to speak out about this. And all those other ones, you know, I don't know what their issue is, but it's interesting that she brings up Joy Graceffa here, and she's like, you know, Joey came to me almost immediately and was like, what do we do about this? But hasn't Joy Graceffa been silent online? Didn't Joy Graceffa's company strike down one of my videos because I uploaded a video of him and Colleen being inappropriate? Yeah, so all of them are fake as fuck. So I appreciate Trisha continuing to speak up about this, and I very much so respect her for that. And I genuinely mean that, so thank you, Trisha, for that. And thank you on behalf of all of us who have dealt with the bullshit of Colleen. And let me tell you something, there's going to be a lot more other people, from what I hear, coming forward very soon. And again, the reason for that is because Colleen just refuses to take any accountability. But not only that, but she's continuing to try to throw all of us under the bus. And I think as time goes on, people are getting very frustrated at us being called liars, and they have their own stories, and they are planning on coming forward with them. So there's that. But anyway, let's get to this.
We love it. We love a podcast. Everyone having a podcast. And we're here for it.
I forget who it was, but there was someone random who was starting a podcast, and I was like, oh my God. I remember it was like, I think it was some like straight man influencer.
The Nicki Minaj
like,
perfume in the back.
Who?
I forget who it was. I wish I remembered, but I remember just being like, why? Like, why
I know.
Oh, I remember. It was Colleen.
Wait, what? Her podcast is coming back.
She's making a podcast come back, and I was like, who cares?
No, who cares? I mean, okay, if she gets sponsors back, like, there's a very big difference, right? Being problematic and doing stupid stuff in your past or whatever. But then there's, like, really, like, gross, sick people out there, and she's one of them. And it's like, if she's getting her sponsors back on her podcast, that, to me, is so, like, there's something bigger than wild. What's, like...
Okay. I know that Colleen has the podcast with Trisha. I think they're referring to the podcast with her husband. Let's look that up. So I assume that has came back. Accept cookies. Okay, sure. I mean, it's going great. I mean, 3,000 views. Holding strong, guys. People are really interested. I just think Eric is so embarrassing as well. Like, again, I have no problem being rude to her because she's continuing to call me a liar and be rude to me online, and I really have no threshold for her anymore, I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is super embarrassing for Eric. Like, you were someone who used to work in Hollywood. Now you're known as, like, the husband of a groomer and child exploiter. Like, you went from getting gigs in Hollywood to, I mean, this is really the foreseeable for your career now. I mean, you know, a podcast for 3,000 views, I mean, that's crazy.
Like a term word, like that's like
full out insane
and
like unfathomable. It's like
no, look, like when you're an awful, evil, sick person, like I'm not saying like anything bad should happen to you, but it's like, you know, like go take a break, like reevaluate your life, like actually get help, like get off the internet, like where you did all this inappropriate behavior. You know what I mean? It is wild that she just comes back. I mean, because we can just like jump to it now, I guess. Like it's just like the video where she said, I had this.
Is that a Trisha Paytas Barbie doll? That is camp. Sorry, I'm like analyzing the background here.
big audition and I booked the role. And she's like, and then I lost it because a made up story about me came out. And I'm like, okay, and I know I said I was going to stop talking about this, but the fact that she keeps talking about it makes, we were talking about this morning, is like.
I appreciate Trisha bringing this up as well, by the way. People keep coming to me, Trisha, Becky, Oliver, and they're like, oh, so you can't keep her name out of your mouth. Have you seen Colleen's like social media activity? All she does is cry about liars and fake stories and all this. Is the fake story in the room with us? So she continues to poke, and we're going to continue to respond. That's how it works.
There should be no other choice than for everyone, Becky, Adam, me, to just remind people what's not made up, what you actually confess to, what is actually real. You having weird nudes of me and sending them unsolicited to your fans and stuff like that. Like you going out to lunch with Adam McIntyre when he was 15 years old and sending him like underwear and stuff in the mail. Like these are not like made up lies. It's just like more people coming out with it because they feel comfortable with it. Obviously the stuff about me coming out and stuff, I was just like, so she's writing it off and maybe, who knows, she's so vague about it. Like, oh, there was a made up story, but there's so many real circumstances. The thing with Becky, like opening her legs when she was 16 on stage. These are all very real things. There's proof, there's evidence, receipts. What's the Salt Lake City? There's just like, you know what I mean? There's just everything out there. Like proof, screenshots, recordings, receipts. Okay, there's all of that out there. And I have the email of you being like, so sorry, I was a coward. I should have told. Like, there's like even in her vague, like, oh, I've learned so much about friendships. It's like, yeah, you're lying to people. Like the Rosie.
I so badly want to see that email that Colleen sent Trisha, right? Because in that email, the context that Trisha has told us that email exists within is that when I came forward about Colleen sending Trisha's stuff to me, Colleen said, no, Adam was the one sending it to me, right? Then Johnny came forward with the fact that it happened to another person and, you know, like these watch parties. And then, so this email that Trisha then got from Colleen is basically Colleen saying that I'm a liar or like I was a coward and I couldn't, like, we literally have an email from Colleen being like, oh, sorry, I lied about this being lies. That, listen, it is up to Trisha, but show that email. Oh my God. Like, again, I'm not forcing Trisha to show that email. It's up to her. Clearly, she hasn't up until now, so it's her own thing. It's a private email. I get it. I respect it. Whatever. But oh my God, there is an email from Colleen Ballinger being like, oh, I know I said this didn't happen. I lied. Another example of her lying. She threw me under the bus for something that she did to Trisha. Trisha believed it for a little bit. Then the truth came out. And then Colleen goes, oh, I'm sorry I lied to you. Like, she's written this down. Like, I don't even know what I would be able to do with that email. Like, depending on how that email is worded from Colleen, that opens up so much. I would love to see that email.
One of her being like, all this stuff is not true. All of it's fake. All of it's not true. And then coming out with like, it's actually true. She said that to me. Oh, none of that's true. The fans sent, and I have to just keep reiterating this because now like she's rewriting this narrative of like, it's all made up. I lost work. I'm the victim, but I'm reclaiming it. Moving forward, we're going to have a podcast again. And it's like, literally learning nothing, no repercussions. So I did see a comment of someone saying like, maybe in her head, because there's no repercussions, she thinks she's innocent. Maybe she thinks, well, I wasn't proven guilty in like a court of law, so I'm innocent. But there's all these actual receipts, including her telling me like, yeah, I'm so sorry. Like I was a coward. So it's like, this is all real. Your weirdo friends watching my OF and making fun of me and stuff like that. It's all real. Her friend's face, I think about that all the time. Like her friend that's like barely on YouTube and social media, but everyone knows is her friend. That
Jonathan.
The guy who's like a musical theater guy, holding my OF next to his face, her taking a picture and sending it to that Johnny or whatever like that. I'm like, you're such a sicko. Like you're admitting to these weird watch parties. It's like so crazy, and it actually makes me sick. Like even when I saw her come back, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna even watch it because like I can't stand her face. Like she's just such a liar, such a manipulator, and and also just like a creep at the end of the day. Like her seeing all these weird stuff she did with her fans on stage, Adam as a child, like having these conversations, and it wasn't just one or two. It's like the group chats, we've seen them. It's all out there. There's no lies detected. So for her to be like, oh my gosh, I lost this opportunity when there's made up story, it made my blood boil. And I'm like, okay, this is why people keep sharing their stories and keep talking, because until something does happen, and maybe more people will come out or something like that, until there's actual like repercussions for it, it's actually like insane to me. So it's like, as long as she keeps thinking she's the victim and did nothing wrong and she's so innocent in this, I'll keep talking about it. I don't know if I sound like a broken record, whatever, it'll eventually come out, like just like stuff in the past with me when I was like, I kept talking about stuff and then other people feel comfortable coming forward and then there's more stuff that comes out. It's like, how much more do you...
That's such a good point that Trisha brings up. I think she's referring to like Jason Nash, David Dobrik there, where she's saying that like in the past I've spoken about my ex-friends and then I've been called crazy, and then a couple years down the line everyone's talking about it. And that is what happened with Trisha and so many of her older friends. And again, she's setting the same precedent here where she's like, I'm talking about Colleen 9. You do not like it. Just wait until a couple years down the line and everyone feels comfortable enough to talk about, like within the YouTube space. I think that's a really great point.
You want to come out, girl. Like in her best interest is to just keep her mouth shut, because I feel like there is probably so many more people who don't have stories in those group chats and whatever that could keep talking.
I can't confirm.
And she's just like, she's egging, she's provoking that by saying none of it's real, none of it's true, you know? Adam, you know.
And again, by the way, to reiterate Trisha's point here, the members of Weenies who are now speaking forward or planning to speak forward, again, their reasonings for doing it, from what I have heard, is this feeling of being provoked and basically just they want to prove her wrong. So it's all stemming from her and her ego.
Who knows, like whatever else. It's like if he says he has these, you know, she texted him stuff like that, it's like she's provoking more stuff. You know, maybe he wants to put it behind him, but it's like at what point do you have to like, okay, now I gotta dig and find all the stuff you sent me and to make it more incriminating, just like the underwear thing where she kind of buried it and be like there was a misunderstanding where it showed edited that she was the one.
Again, this thing, I mean, we've talked about her obviously since this, but like this topic for me, the underwear thing, is crazy to me, where I'm being FaceTimed from my friend. Hey, say hi. Wait, this is what my setup looks like right now. Okay, girl, I'm going to message you saying, can I call you later? She's gonna be like, why'd you send me that? Anyway, so this thing about the lingerie, when Colleen came forward and was like, oh, it was taken out of context, it was a joke, and he was begging for it. He was literally hands and knees begging for it. And she showed the clip of the interaction of getting the lingerie, but years later, I proved that she edited out the sections when she was asking me, oh, we should send it. It'd be so funny. His parents would be like, what? Who's this creepy lady sending you lingerie? We should do it. It'd be so funny. Adam, do you want the panties? Corey, like, fucking, like this, like, fucking wearing it and going like, you know what I mean? Anyway. So then that came forward, so that was another example of her rewriting history, and then again, the truth comes out, and it's like, oh my god, Adam didn't lie. Let me tell you something, if your story, you know, doesn't fucking change like hers, like how many people has Trisha just listed off that Colleen has had to, like, say it's not true, and then go back and be like, sorry, I lied to you. Like, I haven't done that to anyone. Like, Colleen has, because she's a fucking liar. She's fucking crazy. Oh my god.
One that asked him, even though she said, oh, Adam asked me. That was her narrative for so long until all this came back out, including myself, to see like, oh shit, like no, she is the one who said, do you want this underwear? Even though her whole storyline to everyone, including me, including the internet, was like, no, he asked for it because she edited it out. She's only going to keep provoking people and incriminating herself. It's just going to there is just going to be more and more that come out, because clearly this is a person that was having multiple inappropriate conversations, at the very least, with minors and stuff like that, and meeting up with them. I still can't fathom being married. It's like you, me, and Moses going out with a fan that's 15-years old and having lunch. Like, you know, oh, we're in Dublin today. Do you want to come meet us for lunch?
In our hotel room.
In our hotel. Yeah. Wow, like, what? Like that? And he was like, you know, my parents just dropped me off and all that stuff like that. And it's just like, that's a person that's like, there's...
Again, that message where I'm like, oh, my parents just dropped me off. And she goes, wait, your parents are coming? Because again, to Colleen Ballinger, the biggest threat of all time is my parents being there. You know, she needs full control. Fucking weirdo.
There's something, again, it doesn't compute or something how like weird that is and inappropriate that is. Like, it's so bizarre. And just seeing her, that I just saw the clip because I really don't watch her videos. I scroll through TikTok. It's like, I think it's like Spill Tea or something with me. I don't know, one of those.
Spill some tea with me, shout out. Literally If there is a TikTok page that will keep you updated about internet situations, it is the Spill Some Tea With Me page. They are fucking incredible and on that shit.
And she showed the little clip of her just sitting there and just being like a complete victim. Be like, I worked really hard for this audition. Everyone's been asking me about the audition. And everyone's like, oh, the people who asked about this audition, are they in the room with us? Because like no one's asking about this. It's like so weird. It was, and I remember all of it. I remember what was happening. I remember her audition for it or whatever like that. But it's like, this is all your own doing. This is all your own doing. Like it's one thing. And I'm that person. It's like if something happened like 10 years ago and you own up to it and you have apologized, you've reached out to Adam, you've done whatever, and you're just trying to move past, that's like one thing. But then
it's like, not only has she not done that, she's continuing to make these videos where she is, I think the word Trisha said is perfect there, provoking. You know, she's saying, oh, they're liars. They're lying. Like, she's not even just being like, okay, I'll shut the fuck up about it. But then if she's going to continue being like, they're liars, they're liars, they're liars, come forward with why we're liars. Honestly, at this stage, like, if you're going to double down on it so much, just come forward with why we are liars.
it's like such another thing. That would
Just
be
come
like me to
forward
be like,
with that.
I've never said anything problematic in my life. And it's such a different scale because I wasn't doing any, like nothing. But I'm just saying, like, to just act like I've just been a saint, like, oh, I have no idea why people dislike me. It's so weird. Like, I don't get it. But her just being like so recent, all this stuff's so recent. It's so bizarre to me. It's so crazy. And how are you gonna keep provoking that? Like, girl, you skated by. You've saved a little bit of fans. You know what I mean? And so you're lucky you're coming back a little bit. Like, Shane's very like low key for the most part. But her to come back and be like, you know, it was all lies. It's like, they just don't say anything. Like, she just sounds so stupid, manipulative, and just thinking people are stupid, I guess. And a lot of her fan base is young still. We saw that with JoJo coming to her defense and being like, we were friends when I was 13. She was great. And I was like, this is the problem. Like, you know, her fans are these young people believing it. I have her own fans come up to me and I go to their profile. They're literally 10-year-olds, like people being like, I can't believe you would betray Colleen. And then I go and it's like literally a 10-year-old like Instagram. And I was just like, this is crazy. And these are the people she's catering to, that she's still able to have an audience with on YouTube. Then creating this whole situation now that it didn't even happen. Oh, this is a made up story last summer. And being vague about it, making it all seem like it's a made up story is like, and I know Adam's like trying to move on, and people, I know Becky's still like active on Twitter talking about it, which like honestly good for her, because that would enrage me. It enrages me, and I'm not even a child in this situation. You know what I mean? It's like, and it enrages me so much because it just like, but you are this shit person. Like, acknowledge it. You've acknowledged it to me privately, but now online you're gonna act like I was like just so.
And again, it's so crazy to me, obviously, because I haven't seen anything, to think about the fact that Colleen has acknowledged to Trisha behind the scenes that she has lied, or that, you know, all these different things, yet none of us have seen anything. I'm glad Trisha got that, but obviously it didn't do much. But it's crazy to me that she has cherry-picked acknowledged things. Like, if those things were posted online, I feel like it would change everything. I feel like it would honestly change everything, because there's her acknowledging privately to Trisha Paytas, but whatever, like...
innocent and all this. No, you have.
Is that a duck or is that a baby outside? I'm hearing like either wah 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 or quack quack quack.
You have a sick behavior. You have sick tendencies, and I've been trying to talk about it or just talk about it on Patreon or whatever, because I'm like, it is like so upsetting, but I just feel like people let so much go of stuff that shouldn't be let go, because now she's just like back and being like, yeah, we're moving forward and stuff like that, without acknowledging what she did was wrong.
Yeah, that's the tea.
But she's not moving forward and not acknowledging. She's moving forward and constantly bringing it up as lies, and like, she is pushing it. She's pushing it.
Honestly, like, there's only so much you can say about her, because it is kind of the same like talking points too. But it's like, you can't let someone get away with this stuff. Like, you can't let someone blatantly like lie and try to like rewrite what happened.
Yeah.
Like you said, when it's so recent and there's literal proof. Like, she's acting as if Swoop didn't just do like 15 hours of
Exactly.
content and interview
Shout
all
out
these
Swoop.
people who had like weird relationships with Colleen. You know what I mean? Like, we saw that. Like, we
Yeah.
all know. So to act like none of that was real, this whole like umbrella that everything was made up is like genuinely like ludicrous. Like, it's actually like unfathomable. It's
Insulting.
It's so insulting. And I try to like avoid the content too. I think I remember how I watched it, because I was like needing something to watch when I ate lunch, and I was like, let me watch, you know, Spill Sesh or whatever. And I was like, okay, let's see what this lady is up to. And I was like gagged. I was gagged.
Same.
Like, how can you completely rewrite the narrative. It's like beyond delusional. It's like genuinely like sick, I think, in my opinion.
It's sick. It's like a sickness.
It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. And if you really want to be about it, there's so many comments demanding that I bring Relax the podcast.
No.
Girl, then unfilter your comments. Let's see.
Yeah.
I am so annoyed. Unfilter your comments. Take out those little safe words, and let's see what the comments really say. If you're gonna say that there's so much demand for us to know about why you're not renovating your house or why there's.
This is such a good point from Oscar. I mean, it's crazy that you'll go on a Colleen Ballinger vlog and it has like 99 comments. Like, people were like, oh, the comments are being filtered. I don't think the comments are being filtered. I think the comments are being approved, which means that you get your bunch of comments, they're in the hell for review, and you like manually approve them. I think that's what she's doing, honestly, because I would assume that Colleen Ballinger is getting thousands of comments on each video. And why does each video have like 50 to like 200 comments max? So when you're doing that, it's crazy to be like, oh, people are demanding I bring my podcast back. Yeah, because you're probably fucking either writing them yourself or approving only ones that say that. Like, it's interesting. It's like a different level of delusion. Her poor kids that have to deal with her. Rough.
Where the podcast is at or what happened to your failed Broadway career, then unfilter those comments and let's see what the comments say if that's the case.
Because we can see them on TikTok. We see them on TikTok. Amen to that, all of that. Because I see them on TikTok. I go to all those spill tea. Those are where you see the unfiltered comments. And no one is worried about you. Oh, why didn't you finish renovating your kitchen? Well, we kind of went through some money hardships last year because of your sick behavior.
But her kitchen!
And that is 100% everything you said is so spot on. And as long as she's gonna keep rewriting the narrative, I'll just keep bringing up the real narrative because there's again the receipts, the proofs, the screenshots, everything that like made me so sick back then.
I really do appreciate Trisha for this. And again, I unfairly was pushing Trisha to talk during summer, and to just see this turn, like Trisha could have literally just turned around and be like, Adam, go fuck yourself. Like, shut the fuck up. But she's taken it and continues to use her voice and continues to talk about it. And I really appreciate her for that. And I know that the rest appreciate her for that as well. You're not seeing many like this.
That, and it makes me so sick now. And it's like her best interest is just to completely move on and ignore it because she's like completely in the wrong.
But I don't understand.
Yeah, the fact that she brings it up.
If you're going to act like it didn't happen, then just, and like if you didn't say it, if you didn't say, I had the hardest 2023 because everyone was mean and whales got me through so much in my life because I was having a hard time and I had dreams of whales. Did you?
She's disgusting.
If you just lived your life, no one would have ammo. No one would have like any ammunition against you. But if you're gonna like keep lying and being miserable, terrible, and like if you want your career, whatever, vlog for 50K views, 100K views, whatever, do it. That's good. Like you can make a living off of that.
She's going back on tour.
But why are you gonna keep dragging this around and making us all seem stupid? Like, don't make the viewers seem stupid.
And that's why we're like all talking about it, because this is not just her coming back. This is her coming back and continuing to bring it up. She's the one continuing to bring it up. We're all just responding.
Stupid. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and just your fans. This is why you have the 10-year-old fans, the 12-year-old fans, because everyone else is just like you. And it's just sad. It's sad. It makes me so upset. It makes me so upset, actually. And I'm just like...
Because you remember, I mean, when she came back, it was an apology, and I did a lot of work. And now it's like, everything was lies. So what was the work?
Yeah, why did you leave for 4 months?
What was the apology for? And then also the way she words it, it's like, there was one story that was made up about me.
Yeah.
So does that mean that everything else was true?
Right.
Which one is the one story? If you can actually prove that there was one story that was a lie, why won't you say what the story was?
True.
Yeah, but
why would you lose all this work if it was one
just like
story?
she told me or Rosanna, it was just like, she goes, it's all lies. That's how she kept telling me, oh, it's all lies. I don't know. I mean, the scariest part, and I'm just going to keep saying my story because it's 100% the truth, and it's obviously something she's forgotten. And like, I have a voice, and even if I didn't have a voice, I'd keep shouting it out into oblivion, just like I've done in the past, is like, that 2 weeks when it first came out that she supposedly sent like my nudes and stuff to like fans, and I asked her about it, and she's like, oh my god, absolutely not, like, because I was quiet that day. She's like, absolutely not. They would do it. They would send me pictures, and once in a while I'd be like, okay, but she goes, it was never like nude. And
like, what even is the context of that? She goes, they, so like me, would send it to me, and all I would respond would be like, okay.
when I saw that, I was like, 2 weeks later, I was like, wow, this is like a psychopath. This person like knew she was caught. There's no way she forgot she did this. It's like, how do you not just like admit to it and just be like, yeah, this was messed up. This was a while ago. Like, it's so, that was the scariest part. Is like, this person's just like straight up lying to my face in my home, as if I was stupid or as if it wasn't going to come out. And maybe she was lucky that maybe the other ones haven't come out, but she's just going to provoke it and like until like it's just like the David situation too, when there was a photo that came out, you know what I mean? When other things come out, and it's like, it's her own doing. All this has been her own doing. And yeah, what help, what therapy were you working on that? I don't know. She's very delusional, and it's actually scary.
Yeah, because she gives them ammunition. So now if somebody does something, they will say, no, that was a lie.
Yeah.
That story was a lie. Which story?
There's no lies. There's at least 3 stories that are truth, so.
But when you give your fans ammunition, they'll go out and fight the other people and just stand up for you and they have no idea even what it is, because they don't care about what the stories were. They don't follow Adam or Baker. You know what I mean? They don't hear the other voices. They just hear
They just hear hers, yeah. That's why I'll keep fighting with it. There's so much that I can let go and be like, okay, I'm just gonna be at peace with myself. But this is like one thing. I made my peace. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm thriving. But it's like, there's just certain things that I'll keep talking about because I think it's such a sick situation. It involves underage people, and it's disgusting. And also like my nudes and just being an overall sick person. I mean, she had my nudes. She was sending them at 1 month postpartum. Like, you're a sick person. Anyways.
And I just to like solidify too, the fact that she apologized to you means that it wasn't made up. You know what I mean?
1,000%. No, she confirmed. I mean, but it was so obvious. I mean, her friend was it's so obvious.
But it's crazy that she would confess to you and then like tell everyone else no. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's why I said back then, I'll say it now.
That's again what, like, Oscar, a great point that's just so weird. I mean, there are records of Colleen agreeing that she has done the things that she has been called out for, but they're all private. And they're all done in a manipulative way to not be seen to the public. Could you imagine if Trisha released that? Whether it was then or whether it was now, and everyone's like, oh, Colleen didn't do anything. She said it's all lies. Well, babe, here's her in a private email saying, well, yeah, I did do it. And again, oh my god, why hasn't Colleen Ballinger sued all of you? Why hasn't she has agreed privately that she has done these things. You're the fucking delusional ones if you believe that anything other than that. Sorry, you're...
Now, like, she confessed. She's like, yeah, that was weird. Like, she goes, I was, whatever she said with the email, and I have the email. I had to, like, literally check the email. I'm like, is this from her? Like, it was crazy. I was shocked that she admitted, and that was, like, 4 days later after it came out.
Literally, everyone that she surrounded herself on YouTube, like, has, like, denounced her, too. So it's like, wouldn't that also be kind of, like, a reality check? Like,
yeah,
she was friends with Daniel and Joey for so long.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what, like, almost over 10 years, basically.
Yeah.
2012 or whatever. So, and they have, like, wrote you off, girl.
And
like,
Rosanna, too, publicly came out and said it, because it was, like, and those are people that are your friends, and they... Why? Because there's overwhelming proof that came out. There's, like, overwhelming. Like, there's just no... It's not a little bit, maybe, twisted, whatever. It's, like, the overwhelming amount of proof. From Becky's story to Adam's, you know, all the meetups with him to, like, you taking advantage of your fans and having inappropriate conversations. Like, there's so much... Like, that's why people disowned you. That because it's real. It was facts. Like, that was it. And for so long, everyone wanted to hold on. I think, you know, Joey had texted me, like, oh, I don't know what to do in this situation early on because we didn't know, you know, stuff was happening.
Which is crazy. Joey Graceffa texted Trisha Paytas early on and said, I don't know what to do about this situation. That's fascinating because didn't Joey Graceffa only unfollow or whatever he did to Colleen Ballinger, like, not that long ago? Yeah. They're all fake as fuck, you guys. They're all fake as fuck. They're all fucking fake as fuck. Joey Graceffa refusing to acknowledge the fact that his company were striking down videos that involved him and Colleen. But he did actually know about it because he was saying to like, they're all fake as fuck. All of them.
happening. And me too. I'm like, okay, this is not the person I know. Like, but when there's overwhelming evidence, you're just like, this person is sick and this is not okay. I mean, it's just true. I don't think there's any other way to say it. There's no hearsay. There's no there. It's like facts, true. Go watch Swoop's docu-series about it.
I know. She needs to come out with another one or something to remind this lady was gone down.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's just like people, I'm so sick of people like, oh, you're bringing this up again. It's the same talking points. It's like, because she brings it up as if this didn't happen, and that's not okay. I'm not letting that happen. Like, if I do get brought up and it's something that's like clearly didn't happen, I'm going to say it. Like, I'm not going to just let someone, you know, not to what we'd had an experience like that earlier last year. It was like someone said something happened that didn't happen. And so then I will speak up. I'll be like, let's rewind the tape because this is exactly what happened. Tweet, video, look at it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't like is when people think enough time has passed and, oh, Trisha's in a different place now. And so she's not going to be as combative. Yeah, true. But I'll still say it's not, you know, it's a lie or whatever because I don't want that. That's not going to happen. That's because people will start believing them because they only hear that for the first time. Oh, okay. So that must be true. No.
Actually, Ellen, that's not the truth.
What is that?
You have, oh my God.
Okay, we'll end it there. Again, I think it's just interesting hearing all of Colleen's best friends within the space were so selective on when or if they talked. I just think it's incredibly dishonest. I really appreciate Trisha continuing to talk up for us, but I also appreciate that Trisha is not backing down from speaking up for herself as well, because people like to forget that Trisha was very much so involved in this as well from things Colleen was doing to her for many years. And Trisha is someone that has been very wronged by Colleen, and she deserves to talk about it as much as what she wants. Well, I appreciate the conversation that happened here from both of them. I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know that a lot of people were asking, was I going to tweet or respond or anything? I got you. I will see you in my next video. Ciao, grazie.